Now, to mount your peep sight, there's a basic relationship between this and this depending on how you anchor. Some people will anchor underneath the jaw. Some people anchor with a joint, knuckle, right in the side of their face or right up underneath the jawbone. Some people do it with a anchor point to touch the tip of the nose. It kind of depends on how you want to do it. One way to do it is to then use your little method of spreading the bow, put the peep sight into an evenly numbered divided strands and slide it where it's free to slide up and down. Then what you'd probably do is want to come up here. I don't know if I can show this with a knot, but there's a nice way that you do your knot. Now when you tie the knot, what you want to do is you want to tie it around the top, around both parts of the string or the cable, and you want to take that little tail in, you want to pull him out the bottom so that when the knot slides down it catches that little tail, and that way there ain't no way in the world your knot's going to come sliding down on you as you begin to shoot. Now this thing auto aligns. That's the purpose of the peep tubing, is it will auto align it. You don't have to have one of these. You can use one of those that you split the string in 3 positions and use it, but they can get out of alignment with you, even the best ones. I like one with the peep tubing. Just spread it in there, and at this point take your tension off your bow and you have the tubing in this basic thing set. Put an arrow in it, draw it, and get a feel for about how it needs to be up and down in your string, depending on the position of your eye and your particular style of shooting. Now let's say you have the peep sight in the position you want it. How do you lash it and secure its position? Well, the string will be stretched and separated. So you take your piece of serving. This is a number 4 Brownell. 100 yards of it. It's a small piece, and what you'll do is you take your string and you start, say, up at the top, and you run it down and loop it back parallel with the string, and then go roundabout, make several roundabouts. Then with the string that you have left, take it, put it back through that loop that was made, and then snug down your string. Don't do it all at once. Don't jerk it real tight, but just start tightening it up, and then make sure they line flat one with another, and then get a little tighter, and then once you get it right before you really make it snug, slide it down the position you need it to be. Then pull the crap out of it. Really get it tight. Do the same thing with the bottom, coming up this way. Again, it's take your string from the end of it, loop down parallel with the string, around and around, then bring it back out that hole that was made. Tighten it up. Get them lined up nice and smooth and flat one with another like this, and then pull them a little bit more, and then once it gets pretty close tight, you can jam right on up there and really tighten her down. I use a D-loop. Not everybody does. If you happen to be one of those single knock people, you'll put a single knock here and you'll put the arrow up against it, the knock up against it, and then your device, your release comes up and you pull it up, it makes the bottom. And the more strong and violent this angle up here is on your bow, depending on your axle to axle length, when you pull it out, the more sharp it becomes this way, the harder it is really to be as accurate using just the single pull. Now these, I like these because as you put your release in there, if you have a little bit of tilt, it's really not going to affect it much. That's why I use a D-loop. But there's a way to tie that on correctly. Now I'll shoot this loop to the end of season. Now here's some of my spare stock. I buy 4 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, whatever I feel like from Lancaster Archery. They'll set to you by the foot. But it is loop string. It is specifically made for looping. Make it in fluorescent yellow, anything you might want. I don't like the orange. Now the way it goes, I don't know if I can show you, but Brownell certainly has instructions. You will take this and you'll pull off about 4 inches of loop, and you'll tighten it down, make basically like a press. It comes down, around, back up, and around, back out the hole. Pull it nice and tight, and you want to burn the ends till they melt down and make a knot. I don't know if that's showing good, but you'll end up with a little knot there. Then when you tighten this thing up, it cannot slide because that little knot can't go back. It can't pull its way through. So I may do a separate video specifically on tying that if I decide to change that little loop right there. Sight alignment. Now the way you do this before you start adjusting your pins is, you know that you'll have your peep this way. When it comes back towards your eye, it's going to make a circle you're going to look through. Now line it up, not center on your pins, but line it up center of that green ring or orange ring, whatever your particular sight has. See, that's got a green ring and the level in it. Well, what you want to do is you want to get that green ring dead center of your peep, and you want to make sure your anchor point's far enough back that you're looking dead center, so that you set the two rings within themselves. The green ring has to be inside of the peep. Once you get them concentric, or with the same distance all the way around between the two rings, you've got the same anchor point. Then you raise or lower your bow depending on that dot. That'll actually give you a very consistent anchor point that you don't have to worry about whether or not your chin is frozen, and you can feel where your nose is and masks and all that kind of stuff. Now, to do sight adjustment, you really have to know how you're going to anchor. We talked about that previously, but this is a Toxonic, and I don't get any kickbacks or any kind of commissions off any products you see here. These are my personal favorite. But this is a Toxonic MK9, I think they call it. It's got a little clamp screw here that tightens down, and this won't go in and out anymore. It's got one from the other side. So basically you loosen your set screws, your locking screws. Then you can turn this left and right. This one goes up and down. And the little marks are just relative. They just give you an idea. Say you shoot it close up, 20 yards, 15 yards, and lands a certain way. What you want to do then is be able to adjust it left and right, up and down. Now, why did I select this particular type of sight arrangement? Well, first, it does have a level, and it helps you keep your axis of your bow properly aligned when you're in a tree. If you just give it a last little peek, keeps you from being off left and right as if you had a windage error. Second feature is with a nice glow ring here, it helps me align up my peep and it together to help set my anchor point uniformly. Also, I think you can see from here, see how well those things are glowing? There's no battery, although you can put a little piece here that has a battery in it, a little light bulb, LED actually, but it has these coils here which are protected, and they have enough light gathering capability. It has the set screws and the thumb adjustment for when you set it up. But also, this is available with or without this extension. What this does, it puts your sight radius way here and way back here, so that it's like shooting a rifle versus a pistol in terms of your sight radius. It helps your accuracy. Now, stabilizers. I happen to like the Doinker products because it allows me to do exactly what I need to do with it. If I want a stabilizer, I want as much weight as I can, as far away as I can. And the less weight I need is dependent on how far I push it away. So a little bit of weight, 7 ounces, 12, 14, 16, 36 inches out here is a lot better than 9 ounces way up at the unit. That may help your vibration, but it's not going to stabilize much, because your weight's out here is trying to stay in motion when you shoot, and you're trying to flip the bow up by reaction. That weight wants to hold it in motion. It doesn't want to just jump up with you. So the weight at a distance does the best for stabilization. You can also add one if you have vibration problems. You can add what some people call back doinking, and that's basically just a little doinker and a little weight. I put this on here to show it to you so that it could be discussed. I don't use that. I don't really need to in this setup. But this is a Doinker Chubby on the end of a Cartel 4-inch extension. I'd have put a 5-inch in there if I could have got it to fit inside my bow case. But this allowed both of these extensions will fit inside of my particular bow case.